I'm going to be starting with this Ruby Rose Decor Transfer. This is made by Prima Redesign. And I'm going to remove it from the tube and unroll it. There are 3 sheets, and you want to be careful as the design falls off of the white protective backing pretty easily. It's just there to keep anything from sticking together. I'm going to pick one of the 3 sheets and just cut out one of the designs that I like. And I'm going to set that aside. Now I have this white tumbler. I got this from Michael's. It's $6.99 without a coupon. And I'm going to remove the design from the white protective backing. And I'm just going to lay it across my tumbler. And you want to rub down on it. Now I have my transfer tool. These can also be found on our webpage. You do not need this. Each transfer comes with a wooden stick. And you're just going to rub over the design. And as you rub, the clear sheet will lift and your design will stay attached to the tumbler. And then I'm just taking my sleeve. You can use a cotton cloth, would probably be better, and just rubbing it in. And I'm just going to fill up the tumbler, and I'm just going to cut the pieces to just make it fit nicely. And again, you remove the design on the clear sheet off from the white protective backing. And once you place it down, you cannot lift it up. You want to rub really well, and as you rub, the clear sheet will lift and your design will stay attached to your project. Now, there are different ways of doing this. If you're doing it on a wood board, we have other tutorials showing that. And this is what we have so far. So I have one more pretty open space, and I'm just going to take a single flower and apply it there. Now, there are many different transfers on our webpage at chalkitupfancy.com. There's a variety to pick from, many different really pretty styles. So you can really use any transfer on this. And if you do not like any of the transfers, you can apply some really flat stickers. That works as well. So this is what I have so far. Next, I'm going to take my Amazing Clear Cast. This is an epoxy resin. It has 2 parts, a side A and a side B. I get this from Michael's or Hobby Lobby. There are many different brands. The ones I have worked with all work pretty similar, but I always just go back to the Amazing Clear Cast. And I'm going to pour part A into one of my cups, and you want to just note where you're dumping it. I use these red plastic cups, and in the first groove, I'm going to put part A in one cup, and then part B in the other. Now, the most important part of this step is making sure that you have equal parts of each side, and then you want to mix them together. I like to just cut my cup short. It's just easier to scoop all of the epoxy out of it. I'm using a popsicle stick to just stir it, and you want to stir this for about 5 minutes, but each epoxy probably has different instructions. And just to clarify, when I dump each part into its own cup, I use the indentations on the cup to note the amount I put in. If you have a mixing cup, that would be great as well. I'm going to add some glitter to my epoxy. I like mixing it right to it. And now we have this Tumbler cup spinner. It has a piece of foam on the end. That way I could slip the cup onto it. And then I like to put some painter's tape around the top inner part of the tumbler. This will avoid any of the epoxy from going inside my cup because we do not want that. And once everything is stirred really nicely, you're just going to start by dumping some on. You want to make sure you're wearing gloves. And you're just going to rub the epoxy around. I'm just spinning it as I rub it. You do not need a ton of this. You want a nice layer. This is self-leveling, so you want to make sure you put enough on so that it can self-level, but you do not need a ton. I probably even mixed way too much in this cup. And once I have it fully covered, I'm just taking my gloved hand and just rubbing over it and going down the bottom of the cup. Make sure you remove the sticker from the bottom of the cup before you do this. Some people like to put a custom label on the bottom. I just removed the sticker. And once everything seems pretty covered, you're just going to turn on your spinner. I take a hot gun and just quickly go over it. This will help pop any bubbles if you have any. The lighter colors don't show them as much. And then this is going to dry for at least 10 hours. And once that's dry, some people like to put a second thin coat on before it's complete. Once everything is fully cured, I'm going to just remove the inner painter's tape. This came off pretty easily because I didn't have a thick layer. Now you see how clean the inside of my cup is here. We didn't have to have any dripping epoxy. And there we go. Now we have this really fun customized tumbler. And the more you make, the easier it gets. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Paint products, tissue paper, transfers, and mesh stencils can all be found on our webpage at chalkitupfancy.com. And don't forget, you can also check out other tutorials while you're over there as well. Have a great day.